You wake up, eat your fruit, go for a walk, and try to stay healthy. But then, your knees ache. Your calves feel heavier, and standing up becomes a chore. Is it just aging, or could the real culprit be hiding right inside your fruit bowl? Most seniors think they're doing everything right and still end up in wheelchairs. Not because of age, but because of this exact mistake. One man, 71 years old, thought his knee pain was from old age until his doctor traced it back to the healthy fruit he ate every morning. Is this simply aging? Or is there a hidden culprit quietly undermining your strength? You might be surprised it's not just about what you're neglecting to do. In fact, it might be something you're already doing without realizing it's slowly harming you. Every single day, millions of seniors, with the best intentions, make a quiet mistake. They do it with full confidence, believing they're making healthy choices because for their entire lives, they've been taught that fruit is wholesome, natural, and beneficial. And while that's true for many fruits, there's a hidden side few ever talk about. Not all fruits are safe or even healthy for older adults. According to the National Institute on Aging, the protective lining of our joints becomes 23% thinner after age 65. That means even the natural acids and sugars from fruit can irritate tissues, trigger microinflammation, and silently wear down mobility. What used to nourish you might now be nudging your knees towards stiffness and pain. In fact, certain fruits we casually consume each week can sneakily weaken your legs, aggravate knee pain, intensify joint inflammation, and make walking a real challenge. Fruits often marketed as superfoods might be quietly chipping away at the strength and vitality of your lower body. As we age, our bodies change. Our muscles and joints become more sensitive, and foods that once nourished us can, over time, start to harm us instead. Some fruits, despite looking beautiful and smelling sweet, are packed with high levels of natural sugars and acids that can secretly sabotage your body's delicate balance. And if you're over 60, avoiding these particular fruits can make a world of difference when it comes to preserving the strength and resilience of your legs. Stick with me through this video, because once you learn which fruits could be silently working against you, you'll never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. Protecting your mobility, reducing pain, and keeping your legs strong and independent is absolutely within your control. You just need the right information. And trust me, your future self will thank you for making these changes today. Before we dive deeper, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. Here, we uncover the health truths that no one else dares to tell you because you deserve to age with strength, clarity, and power. And if you're watching right now, I want to hear from you. Drop a 1 in the comments if this video is hitting home for you, or a 0 if not. Your voice matters here, more than you know. All right, let's start with the first fruit you need to be cautious about. It's praised worldwide for its tropical sweetness and celebrated for its anti-inflammatory properties. Yet, it can have unexpected consequences for aging bodies. I'm talking about pineapple. Pineapple has been hailed in scientific circles, notably in research highlighted by Tufts University, for its enzyme bromelain, a compound shown to reduce inflammation. However, there's a flip side most don't realize. While bromelain can indeed soothe inflammation in certain contexts, for seniors, it can backfire, especially if consumed regularly. Why? Because aging joints and tissues react differently. Instead of healing, the high acidity and enzymatic action can irritate delicate joints, exacerbate small, unnoticed injuries, and even speed up the breakdown of cartilage over time. Tiny micro tears in the tendons, knees, and ankles can flare up after eating pineapple, leading to persistent aches that no amount of stretching seems to fix. Imagine going for a gentle walk and feeling that sharp, lingering soreness creeping into your calves and knees by the end, or waking up the next morning with unexpected stiffness. Even if you spent the evening relaxing, pineapple's sweetness masks this potential harm, making it an easy trap for health-conscious seniors. And if you already struggle with conditions like arthritis or diabetes, the high sugar content can trigger additional inflammation responses, making an already tender situation worse. It's subtle, but over weeks and months, the impact becomes unmistakable slower movement, increased discomfort, and a sense that your legs just aren't what they used to be. You thought you were doing everything right. You sacrificed sugar. You walked every morning. You took your vitamins and followed every doctor's tip. And still your legs gave out on you one morning. Not because of your age, but because something you trusted was silently working against you. Stay tuned because next, I'll share another common fruit that seems harmless, but could be quietly stealing your strength away. One bite at a time. Now, let's go a little deeper into the hidden dangers that might be quietly sabotaging your legs and your freedom. First, let's talk again about pineapple. Bromelain, the active enzyme found abundantly in pineapples, is widely recognized for its anti-inflammatory properties. Studies, including those from the Journal of Medicinal Food, have praised bromelain for reducing swelling. But here's the kicker: as we age, our bodies process compounds differently. For seniors, especially those over 60, bromelain can be a double-edged sword. Instead of helping, it can trigger inflammation if your tissues are already sensitive or compromised. What makes it so tricky is that the damage doesn't announce itself immediately. You won't necessarily feel a sharp pain or discomfort right after eating pineapple. It's slow, sneaky, over time. You may start to notice that getting up from a chair, climbing a set of stairs, or taking a simple stroll around the block becomes more taxing than it used to be. And by the time you realize it, your joints may have already suffered more than you think. And the most dangerous part, many older adults continue eating pineapples, believing they're doing something good for their bodies, not realizing they might be contributing to the nagging weakness or soreness that creeps into their calves and knees. If you've been dealing with chronic joint pain or unexplained fatigue in your legs, it might be time to reassess your relationship with this sweet fruit. But that's not the only fruit you need to watch out for. Quick check-in. Have you ever felt joint stiffness or tired legs after eating fruit? Type yes in the comments if that's you, or no if not. You might be surprised how many others feel the same. Next on our list is bananas. Bananas soft, sweet, packed with potassium. They've long been hailed as a heart-healthy choice, a great post-workout snack, or even a quick breakfast on the go. And while it's true that potassium can help regulate blood pressure and muscle function, bananas carry another secret that many don't talk about. Bananas are high in natural sugars and starches. For aging bodies, especially those dealing with insulin sensitivity or reduced metabolic flexibility, this can be a recipe for trouble. Eating bananas frequently can cause sudden blood sugar spikes, which then trigger inflammatory responses in the body. But that's not all. These sugar surges can disrupt the delicate connection between your nerves and muscles. This misfire slows down reaction time, and for seniors, that delay could be the difference between catching yourself and falling hard. Over time, this can lead to swelling, stiffness, and a deep, gnawing pain in your legs and feet after even light activity. And if you have existing cardiovascular issues, bananas' high carbohydrate load can cause fluid retention, making your legs feel heavier, puffier, and more uncomfortable. What's even sneakier is that these symptoms don't hit you overnight. It's the gradual erosion of energy and mobility, hidden behind what seems like a healthy choice. Want a safer option? If you still enjoy bananas, pair them with oats or chia seeds. Studies from Mayo Clinic show that this slows glucose absorption, protects your nerves, and keeps your muscles from crashing after a sugar spike. If you've noticed that you feel more sluggish or swollen after a breakfast smoothie or a banana snack, it might be your body trying to tell you something. Think back to just this week. Was there a moment where you avoided stairs without thinking? A second where standing up from the couch took more effort than it used to? That wasn't just tiredness. That was your body whispering, begging you to listen. And believe it or not, the third fruit you need to be cautious with might seem like one of the most harmless of all grapes. Tiny, sweet, and easy to pop into your mouth by the handful. Grapes seem innocent enough. But here's the truth, grapes are loaded with natural sugars and not just a little. According to data from the USDA, a cup of grapes can pack over 23 grams of sugar. That's nearly as much as a can of soda. For seniors, consuming grapes regularly can flood your bloodstream with sugar, causing chronic inflammation, particularly in joints and muscles, over time. This sugar overload can manifest as nagging leg cramps, foot pain, and an increased risk of developing conditions like peripheral neuropathy. It doesn't help that grapes are also high in compounds called oxalates, which can crystallize in sensitive tissues, including joints, and cause painful flare-ups, especially in your feet, ankles, and knees, where circulation may already be compromised with age. I remember one of our viewers, June from Arizona, wrote in and said, "I used to snack on grapes every afternoon while watching TV. I thought I was making a good choice, but I kept getting these strange cramps in my feet at night. Turns out, those grapes were flooding my body with more sugar than I realized." Just like Sylvia, a 68-year-old retired teacher who walked every day after breakfast, usually with a glass of orange juice in hand. One morning, she lost her balance in the driveway. Her doctor traced the inflammation in her knees to months of citrus overload. "I thought I was being healthy," she said, "but my joints were screaming the truth." That's when she made a change, and within 2 weeks, her legs felt lighter, with grapes. The pain often settles into the soles of your feet, the type of ache that makes you wince when stepping out of bed. For mangoes, it's different. The sugar overload tends to bloat the calves and trigger that heavy, dragging feeling when you climb stairs. Each fruit harms in its own way, and that's why recognizing the symptom pattern matters. Pause here. Are you starting to recognize any of these signs in yourself? If yes, hit the like button so this message reaches more seniors who need it. So even though grapes might look like a perfect, healthy snack option, regularly munching on them could be quietly stealing away your ability to move comfortably and freely. Here's the bottom line. It's not about demonizing fruits. It's about understanding which ones serve your body's needs as you age, and which ones may be working against you without you even realizing it. Stick with me because up next, I'll reveal another healthy fruit that's commonly recommended, but could be making your joint pain worse with every bite. Now, let's talk about another harmless little fruit that might not be so innocent after all. Imagine something that feels light, looks adorable, and tastes irresistibly sweet. A little treat you can pop into your mouth one after another without even thinking about it. Sounds harmless, right? But inside, it's a different story. We're talking about cherries. Many folks love cherries because of their bright flavor and soft texture. One cherry easily turns into 2, then 3, and before you know it, you've downed a whole bowl. It's easy to lose track. But here's the rub: cherries. despite their nutrients, are deceptively high in sugars, especially fructose. When you overindulge, you're not just enjoying nature's candy, you're putting extra strain on your body. The truth is, high sugar intake, even from natural sources like cherries, can increase systemic inflammation, a leading factor in leg weakness, joint pain, and even chronic fatigue. According to findings published in the International Journal of Obesity, when you combine sugar spikes with aging muscles and joints, it becomes a dangerous cocktail. Your body works harder to process that excess sugar, leading to swelling, stiffness, and worsening mobility over time. Now, let's move to another favorite that carries a secret risk: citrus fruits. Now let's talk about the citrus family. You'd think oranges and grapefruits would be safe. Right. Not quite. Lemons. Oranges. Grapefruits, they're everywhere. Breakfast tables, juices, snacks, you name it. They're praised for their high vitamin C content, which is undeniably beneficial for immune support. But for aging bodies, especially those over 60, there's a catch you need to know about. The acids found in citrus fruits, particularly citric acid and ascorbic acid, can be harsh on aging joints and digestive systems. A consistent intake of citrus fruits can subtly contribute to joint sensitivity and muscle soreness, especially if you're already grappling with underlying inflammation or arthritis. Plus, according to research from the Arthritis Foundation, acidic foods can exacerbate flare-ups in some individuals prone to joint conditions. So, if you've ever woken up feeling unusually stiff after an evening where you enjoyed a fresh orange juice, it may not just be sleep stiffness, it might be your body responding to the acidic load you gave it. Worse, citrus compounds can sometimes interfere with certain medications, making it harder for your heart and blood pressure medicines to work properly. That's a serious concern for seniors relying on daily prescriptions to maintain health. And here's the part nobody warns you about over time. That morning citrus habit you thought was boosting your vitality might be contributing to the very stiffness, joint discomfort, or heart irregularities you're trying so hard to avoid. When our bodies are younger, they bounce back faster. But as we age, even healthy foods must be tailored carefully to meet our new needs. Another hidden factor to be aware of: many fruits, especially cherries and citrus, contain naturally occurring compounds that can act like trigger agents in the body. When these compounds accumulate, they can spark small but chronic reactions in your joints, tissues, and blood vessels. After a few months, it's not uncommon for seniors to report feeling more sluggish, heavier, or achy without being able to pinpoint why. That's the insidious part. The decline is so gradual that it's easy to mistake it for just aging, when really, some of it is preventable. Here's the key takeaway. No one is saying you have to completely avoid these fruits forever, but moderation, awareness, and timing matter more than ever after 50. Listening to how your body reacts after eating is one of the most powerful things you can do for your future health. Up next, we'll uncover another health food that might be slowing down your legs and draining your energy far more than you ever realized. Stay with me, because this next one might truly surprise you. Now, let's dig a little deeper into the hidden pitfalls that could be sabotaging your strength without you even realizing it. First, let's revisit an important point about dried fruits. Even when they're not coated in sugar or drenched in syrups, dried fruits naturally concentrate sugars in a way that can be tough on the body, especially an aging body. The drying process removes water, leaving behind a much higher sugar density. It's why something as innocent-looking as a handful of raisins or dried mango slices can quietly flood your bloodstream with more sugar than your body is ready to handle. This can lead to chronic inflammation, bloating, and that heavy, sluggish feeling in your legs and feet. Over time, small blood vessels already more fragile with age can suffer too, making circulation weaker and recovery from activity slower. According to the Journal of the American Geriatrics Society, excessive sugar intake accelerates age-related muscle loss, making mobility even harder for seniors. And speaking of mangoes, yes, fresh mangoes are juicy, luscious, and refreshing, especially in summer. But here's the sobering truth. Mangoes are among the highest sugar fruits you can eat. One medium mango can have more than 45 grams of sugar, more than a standard can of soda. When you're young, your metabolism can often handle these sugar surges with ease, but after age 60, things change. Each sugar spike stresses your pancreas, burdens your blood vessels, and promotes inflammation in your joints. If you have underlying issues like diabetes, arthritis, or poor circulation, mangoes can quietly make these problems worse. Have you ever stood up and felt like your legs just didn't want to follow? Here's a quick test. Stand on your toes for 10 seconds with your eyes open. Do your calves tremble? Do you feel unsteady? If yes, it might be an early sign your neuromuscular coordination is being compromised, possibly from high-sugar fruits. That heavy, dragging feeling. What fruit did you eat that day? Have you ever noticed swelling in your feet or stiffness in your knees after enjoying a sweet summer treat? It might not be just aging. Your body could be signaling that it's time to rethink some food choices. Try this for the next 7 days. Cut out pineapple, grapes, mango, and citrus. Journal how your legs feel each morning. Track your pain, stiffness, and stamina. Many of our viewers report feeling significantly better in just 1 week. And the worst part, mangoes are so delicious and fragrant that it's easy to eat too much without even realizing it. Bigger portions mean bigger sugar loads and more silent damage happening beneath the surface. Over time, this damage accumulates. Blood vessels become less elastic, muscle tissues weaken, and pain or discomfort during simple activities like walking can increase. It's not about fearing food, it's about being smarter with it. Especially once you cross 60, the body's ability to process sugar declines significantly, as shown by numerous studies, including those from Tufts University and the American Heart Association. But here's the good news: not all fruits are enemies. In fact, some fruits can actively help you fight inflammation, improve circulation, and protect your muscles and joints. Next, we'll turn the spotlight onto those heroes, the fruits you should be eating to support stronger, healthier legs and a more vibrant life as you age. We'll talk about powerful, low-sugar options that nourish instead of deplete. So stick around, because what you choose to put on your plate next could make all the difference in how you move, feel, and live every day. All right, let's wrap everything up with a clear and simple takeaway, because you deserve to walk through life feeling strong, vibrant, and free. The journey we've taken today highlights a vital truth: not every fruit is automatically a friend to your aging body. Some fruits, despite their sweetness, beautiful colors, and healthy reputations, can quietly work against your legs, your joints, and your overall energy. The hidden sugars, the inflammatory responses, the subtle stiffness, they all build up slowly, but steadily. The reality is, if you're over 60, your body deserves a little extra attention. Your legs have carried you through decades of memories, milestones, and experiences. They deserve the kind of nourishment that strengthens and protects, not foods that sabotage from the inside out. When you choose fruits wisely, you're not just eating, you're investing in your mobility, your independence, your joy. According to research published in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging, Making mindful dietary shifts can slow the progression of muscle deterioration by up to 30% in seniors. That's a powerful reminder that small choices, made daily, can create massive changes over time. It's about staying empowered. It's about making conscious, loving decisions for your future self, the self who still wants to dance at a wedding. Travel with grandkids, garden on a sunny afternoon, or simply walk across the room without hesitation. Remember, the best defense against weakness isn't avoiding food altogether. It's choosing the right ones. Swap high sugar, high acid fruits for anti-inflammatory champions like blueberries, raspberries, avocados, and cucumbers. Rotate fruits that love your joints, nourish your muscles, and steady your energy. Let me say this as clearly as I can. When you lose your legs, you lose your freedom. It starts small, a morning stiffness you ignore, a short walk you skip, a stare you avoid. And then one day, you're sitting more than standing. Not because you're lazy, but because the choices you made thinking they were healthy were quietly taking your strength away. You didn't know. Nobody told you that the very fruits you believed were helping were working against your knees, your calves, your independence. But now you know. And that changes everything. You have two choices. You can keep doing what you've always done, or you can choose something better. You can choose to walk stronger. You can choose to rise again. Not just for you, but for the little girl who still sees you as her hero. For the grandchild who wants to race you to the garden. For the version of you who still dreams of dancing. Don't wait until you can't stand without help. Don't wait until your legs are too far gone. Act today because your future self is begging you to. And if this touched something in you, if even one moment made you stop and think, share this with someone you love, before they lose their strength too. This isn't fear. This is power. This is the moment you take your body back. One decision, one swap. One day at a time. Here's to standing tall again, not just in body, but in spirit.